Hello and welcome back to Machine Learning. I'm Chivita Christie, and in this video, we are going to talk about random variables, and we will see specifically some formulae that are related to random variables. So, what are random variables, first of all? Let's take an example of tossing a coin once. You can associate random variables x and y as follows. You can say that um, x of h, which means getting heads, is equal to 1, and x of t is equal to 0, which means variable associated with the outcome of the coin facing heads or tails. And you can say y of h is equal to 0, y of t is equal to 1, which means the variable associated with the outcome of the coin facing tails. Okay, so x of h equal to 1, x of t equal to 0 is associated with getting heads, and this one is associated with getting tails. So that's what a random variable is. Okay, and here a sample space S. Sample space is all possible outcomes. Okay, in this sample space S, okay, which is the outcome related to tossing the coin once, the random variables would represent the single valued real function, and that function is x of zeta, okay, that assigns a real number called its value to each sample point of S, okay. And a random variable is not actually a variable, but it's actually a function. And the sample space S is known as the domain of the random variable x and the collection of all the numbers, okay. So that means values of x zeta would be termed as the range of the random variable. And you can also define the event x equal to x small x, where x is a fixed real number, such as x equal to small x, which is equal to zeta, such that x zeta is equal to x. And accordingly, you can also define the following events for the fixed numbers x, x1, and x2. And those are, if your capital X is less than equal to x, then you can say that the function x zeta is also going to be less than equal to x. If capital X is greater than small x, then your function zeta is also going to be greater than x. And if this is between x1 and x2, then your zeta function is also going to be between x1 and x2. Now, the probabilities of these events you can denote by writing P of x equal to x. So this is something like saying x is for heads. What is the probability that x is equal to 1, which means x will definitely happen. So which is actually equal to x zeta equal to x. Okay. And similarly, for x less than x equal to x, it is this. And for x greater than x, it is this. And for x being between x1 and x2 probability, it will be the probability of this event happening. Okay. Now we will be using the term CDF, which is known as to show cumulative distribution function, and which takes the form of variable x in this manner. Fx of x is equal to probability of x less than equal to x small x minus infinitive less than equal to x less than equal to infinitive, okay, which means x is somewhere, small x is somewhere between minus infinitive and plus infinitive, okay. So if you have that, then this is the cumulative distribution function. Some of the important properties of this type of a function are given here. It always lies between 0 and 1, okay. And cumulative distribution function of one variable x1 is always less than x2 if the variable x1 is less than x2. Okay, and there are also two more things which tell you that fx of infinitive is 1 and minus infinitive is 0. Now let's take a look at discrete random variables. So there are two kinds, discrete and continuous random variables. We will first see discrete random variables, okay. Before we see the formula, what exactly is a discrete random variable? A discrete random variable is a variable that has some definite values. So for example, if I ask you, some question related to winning or losing. Okay, maybe there's a football match tomorrow, and I'm asking a question: is this team going to win? So there's a definite answer, yes or no. Or if you're talking in terms of zeros and ones, then there is either a zero or there's a one. So that is a discrete variable, a discrete random variable. If I ask you a person's age, okay, age or ages of different people found in this university or college, that's also a discrete random variable, because you can give me a particular age, like you can say 18, you can say 19, 20, and so on, but you can give me a definite answer. Okay, it is a fixed answer, a definite answer. That is why it is a discrete random variable. Okay, so let's see what kind of functions we can associate with a discrete random variable. Okay, the definition is that its range or set X, or the set X, contains a finite or countably infinite number of points. And let us consider that the jumps of fx of x of the discrete random variables is occurring at points x1, x2, x3. So if I'm describing somebody's age, x1 would be 18, 19, x2 will be 19, x3 will be 20. So there are jumps happening every one number. Okay, and this sequence represents a finite or countably infinite set. Okay, where you can say that xi is less than xj if I is less than j, right? So if I say x1 is 18, then x2 is going to be 19. And because x1 is less than x2, okay, you can also say I is less than j, because 1 is less than 2. Okay, and here is some formula for the cumulative distribution function, which is given in this manner. It's fairly simple to understand, so you can just take a minute to take a look at it. Now we can denote through notation that P of x is equal to P of x equal to small x, and the probability of the event that x, capital X, is equal to small x is denoted by this, which is known as P of x for short. Okay. So here P is called the probability mass function, also known as PMF. And here is a diagram showing you a discrete random variable capital X with a cumulative distribution function fx of x, which is less than equal to x. And the values of x are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the function also has jumps at x equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the function also has corresponding jumps. These are the values of fx of x. Okay, so this is how the discrete random variable functions. Okay, and it satisfies all the properties of px being between 0 and 1, which we saw earlier. Okay, and also sigma x belongs to x and px is equal to 1. And cumulative distribution function of a discrete random variable can be denoted in this manner. Okay, it is equal to probability of x, which has to be less than equal to small x. Okay. And this is an example of a uniform distribution where you can see all the values are at the same lengths. Okay, that would be your uniform distribution for the set 1, 2, 3, 4. And this distribution means that x is always equal to the value 1 by 2, which means x is always constant. Now let's take a look at continuous random variables. So first of all, what are continuous random variables? These are variables that do not have a definite value. For example, if I ask you, what is your height or what is your weight? Now this question does not have a definite answer, because I could say that my height is 165.0, but it could be 165.0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, anything, right? I can never be exact. Okay. After the decimal point, I can go up to as much precision as I possibly can. And it goes on, it is infinite. So I cannot give you an exact answer. So that would be a continuous random variable. So usually these variables are not given one exact value. Instead, they lie between some range. Okay. And most of our real life events are continuous in nature. So for example, if we have to measure the actual time taken to finish some activity, there are infinite number of possible ways to do that, because the time can be exact up to a millisecond or microsecond, nanosecond, right? It's not the same as flipping a coin where you can either have only heads or tails. So this, the function fx of x also has to be different, okay, when we talk about continuous random variables. And you can say that the PDF or probability density function of this continuous random variable x can be defined in this manner. So we have to do some differentiation. Okay, so it is dfx of x divided by dx. And we will see how to extend probability to reason about uncertain continuous quantities. And obviously, probability is going to lie in any interval from A to B. Okay, x is going to be lying between any value from A to B, and we can define capital A as an event which is equal to x less than equal to A, and B is x less than equal to B, and W means x is between A and B, and we are also given that B is equal to A union W, and since A and W are mutually exclusive according to the sum rules, you can have this probability, which is P of B is equal to P of A plus P of W. Also, you can invert it and say P of W is equal to P of B minus P of A. And remember that A and B are actually intervals. Okay. You can also define the function fq equal to P of x less than equal to Q, and the cumulative distribution function CDF of a random variable can be obtained by using this formula. Okay, you can find P of x less than equal to x equal to fx dx and integrate it from minus infinity to x. And this is known as a monotonically increasing function. Okay, and using that notation, you can also define probability of x between A and B range to be the function cumulative distribution function of B minus function of A. And using the PDF of x, we can compute the probability of the continuous variable being in a finite interval as follows. So probability of x being in this interval AB is actually integration from B to A fx dx. Okay, and as the size of the interval gets smaller and smaller, you can also write this to px dx. Okay, as the interval keeps on getting smaller, you can also convert it to px dx. Now let's take a look at mean. So what is mean? Mean is the weighted average, okay, of all the possible values of variable x, and it is usually denoted by mu x or e of x, which is written in this manner. So e of x or mu x is actually equal to xk px into xk. Here what is xk? X is a discrete variable, and if x is continuous, then you can write it in this manner. Okay, so you just have to introduce these limits over here, and you have to do the integration, and you can find the mean. The last thing we're going to see is the variance. So the variance of a random variable x would measure the spread or dispersion of x, okay, which means if E of x is the mean of the random variable, then the variance is given by this formula, okay. If x is discrete, and if x is continuous, then it is this formula. Now, the reason why I'm making you go through all these formulas is because we might later on use them. Okay, so it's important that you remember these formulas And hopefully these are the concepts that you have studied in probability and statistics. So a quick revision of formula would be enough for you. Okay, so I hope you understood all this, and I'll be back with the next video. So I'll see you there, and thank you for watching.